Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातान् सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are discussing how Krishna, last time we discussed Krishna, uh, killed Shalva, the great demon, and before that we discussed when Krishna was there in Dwarka, in Hastinapur, attending the wonderful celebration of Rajasuya Yagya. So Shalva, he attacked Dwarka, and Krishna, when he understood, he started seeing all the inauspicious omens. So he returned to Dwarka and he saw this Shalva attacking. Immediately he went, he put on his armor, he installed Balram to protect the citizens of Dwarka, and he started fighting. And we saw that before that, Pradyumna, he was fighting with Shalva. He got injured and then he was saved. He was taken out of the battlefield by the son of Daruka, the chariot driver. Then he went back. As he regained consciousness, he started fighting fiercely. Then Krishna, he came and he destroyed Shalva's entire airship, and he destroyed the chariot and then he cut off the head of Shalva with his Sudarshan Chakra. So that's what we discussed. And then today we'll be discussing the 78th chapter, which is entitled The Killing of Dantavakra, Vidurath, and Romharshan. So Shukdev Goswami continues the description that out of friendship for Shalva and Shishupal and Poundraka, the friend of all these, his name was Dantavakra. When he heard, he immediately he appeared on the battlefield, not on the chariot. He came right there on the foot, and he challenged Krishna. So Krishna, he picked up his club and he attacked Vidurath, Dantavakra, because Dantavakra was on the ground. He was not on the chariot. He attacked with his club on. As he walked, he was such a very, very powerful fighter. Entire earth was shaking. So Krishna, to give a fair fight, he also came down of the chariot, took on his Kamudiki club Gada. And Dantavakra, when he saw Krishna, he said, "Oh, what a great luck! What a great luck today! You have come in front of me." So Sridhar Swami, he says that actually who is Dantavakra? He is Jaya Vijay, the same personality who were cursed by four Kumaras. So now today he is exclaiming, oh, now how fortunate it is. I have come to see you, O my Lord, again. And today I'll go back to the spiritual world. This is such a wonderful occasion. So because this was the third birth, the four Kumaras, they had cursed that you'll go to the earth for 3 births, you'll be a demons. You'll be demons and you'll fight against Supreme Lord. So Dantavakra is telling, oh, it is so very wonderful that you have come. And then he tells that actually you are our maternal cousin, Krishna. Because Krishna, with Dantavakra, he was the son of Shrutashrava, the sister of Vasudeva. So he was the cousin of Krishna. So he said, oh, although you are our cousin, but you have killed my friends. And today you have come to kill me also. But just see, today I'll kill you with my thunderbolt club. And he tells, oh, you're such a fool. Chakravarti Thakur, as always, he tells that Saraswati, she's telling, you are not Manda, you are Amanda. You are most intelligent one. And today you will strike me with your Kaumudiki clubber and I will attain liberation. I'll attain you. And then Shishupali tells, O unintelligent world, O Amanda, today I'll repay my debt to my friend Shishupal by killing and cutting off your head. I will repay my debt. So tarhi anriyam upamyagya mitranam mitravatsalah bandhu rupam arim hatva vyadhim deha charam yatha. He's telling you are agya, but Saraswati, Mother Saraswati, she's telling you are agya means there is no more intelligent than you. There is nobody who is more intelligent than you. So therefore you are agya. Bandhu rupam. So he's telling that actually you have appeared as my relative. But the real meaning is Krishna is bandhu of everyone. He is everyone's true friend. As Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling that he's Suridam Sarva Bhutana. He is the best well-wishing friend of every living entity. Bandhu Rupam. Vyadhi. Vyadhi indicates that super soul, Krishna as super soul is there in everyone's heart and he can take away the distress. All the Vyadhi will go away if somebody accepts Krishna consciousness. When we'll come out of this mentality of lording over, that is the real problem of this material world. That is the real distress. People are suffering in this world because they are having this mentality of lording over, controlling, controllership. But when somebody comes to the process of Krishna consciousness, he realizes, I'm not controller, I am servant. So then the Vyadhi is removed. And therefore, by knowing you, Hatva as, he tells Hatva as Gyatva, by knowing you properly, you will liberate everyone. Anybody who knows you, he gets liberated. So in this way, Dantavakra was very speaking very harsh words, and he was trying to harass Krishna and he wanted to attack Krishna with his club. So he charged towards Krishna with his club in his hand and roaring like a lion. And he hit Krishna on his head with his club. But for Krishna, it was like insignificant. He didn't even budge an inch. And then Krishna took his Kaumudiki club and fiercely he charged towards this demon again and he hit him right in the chest, middle of the chest. And with just one strike of Krishna's club, this demon, he vomited blood, he fell down unconscious and he died. He left his body. And then, before everybody, as Shishupal had entered in the body of Krishna, so the soul of Dantavakra also entered the body of Krishna in front of everyone. Brother of Dantavakra, his name was Vidurat. When he came to know that, oh, my brother has been killed, he became so very angry. He came and he came with his sword to kill the Supreme Lord. He had a sword and a shield in his hand. He wanted to kill the Supreme Lord. And as Vidurath was approaching, Krishna, he invoked his Sudarshan Chakra and he cut off the head of Vidurath along with the earrings and the helmet which he was wearing. So in this way, very shortly, Shukadeva Goswami describes the killing of Dantavakra and Vidurath, his brother. And after this, after destroying Shalva and then his Shobha airship and then killing Dantavakra and Vidurath, and then Krishna, he returned back as he killed all these powerful. So when we hear these pastimes where Krishna, he just with one strike, he killed a demon. They were not ordinary demons. Even devatas were fearful. They were not ordinary personalities. Everybody started singing the glories of Supreme Lord, demigods, all the devatas started showering flowers. Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas, Yakshas, everybody started singing, glorifying the Supreme Lord. So therefore, for Krishna it is insignificant. But these were the people who were terrorizing the entire world. We heard the story of Hiranyaksha also. Just by hitting below his ear, Krishna, as Varahadev, killed him. It may look very insignificant and very puny. How can Krishna kill somebody just by striking below his ears? As if he was an insignificant demon, but he was a very, very powerful demon. So whenever Krishna performs his pastimes, he performs in such a way that creates some excitement and amusement. How can Krishna kill such a powerful demon in such a simple way? Yeah. That is Krishna. Krishnera yate khela sarvottama naralila. All the pastimes Krishna is performing just to attract the hearts of all the living entities. That's why Krishna has appeared. So with this killing of Dantavakra, Krishna, he ended all his killing pastimes. After that, he didn't take up weapons. That was the last demon Krishna killed, Dantavakra. And then after this, Shukadeva Goswami tells that Krishna, who is the master of the senses, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is ever victorious, only those who are demoniac people, they cannot understand Krishna. Shukadeva Goswami, actually Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he writes an elaborate description, purport to the 16th verse. And in that, he tells that when Krishna, he killed Shalva, Dantavakra came to know about the killing of Shalva. And he went to Mathura because the reason is not given, but he went to Mathura to kill Krishna. And Narad Muni came and he informed Krishna that, oh, Dantavakra has gone to Mathura. So with the speed of mind, Krishna boarded his chariot, and with the speed of the mind, he reached Mathura within a moment. And there he fought with Dantavakra at the gate of Mathura, and he killed him there. And then after that, Vidurath also came there, and he was also killed there. So Chakravarti Thakur writes that still today there is a village called Datiha. So Datiha is a vernacular for Dantavakraha. So this village is facing towards Dwarka. So Krishna, he came from Dwarka directly to Mathura within a moment. So, and then after killing Vidurath, now he had come to Mathura, and he always wanted to visit after Balram had gone to Vrindavan and he spent many months in Vrindavan. Krishna always wanted to go to Vrindavan to meet his dear relatives and Nanda, Yashoda, all the gopis. But all the Dwarkavasis, the elders, they never allowed Krishna to go because they were fearful. If Krishna goes back, seeing the love of Brajvasis, he will never return. So therefore, now this was the chance. This was the chance that Krishna had come to Mathura because he wanted to kill a demon. So the Dwarkavasis, they could not stop. And in the first canto also, there is a description when Krishna entered Dwarka, all the Dwarkavasis, they were telling, Arey, you are always abroad only. Sometimes you go to Hastinapur, sometimes Mathura, sometimes Vrindavan, and you are always abroad seeing your relatives. Yarhyambujaksha pasasara ko bhavan kurun madhurnva surididrikshaya tatrabda koti pratimakshano bhavet tat ravim vinakshnor ivanastavachuta. Oh, you are always abroad. Kuru madhunva. Sometimes you are in Hastinapur, sometimes Mathura. Madhu means Mathura. And we are not able to see you. In your absence, our eyes, they are like eyes without the sun. What is the use? We cannot see anything. So therefore, Krishna, he went to Vrindavan, he went to Mathura this time. And still the Dwarkavasis, they were telling, oh, you are always abroad only. So in the end, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will give the sequence of events, how these events, when is the sequence, chronology, he'll tell. So Krishna, because he had come now to Vrindavan, he had now come to Mathura, so he crossed Yamuna and he entered Vrindavan. He stayed in Vrindavan for 2 months. He assumed his cowherd form of cowherd boy. He enjoyed with Nanda, Yashoda, and all the relatives, perform all the wonderful pastimes again with them, gave them intense pleasure. And then, at the end of 2 months, Krishna, he withdrew his Braja pastimes. This is the end of Braj pastimes. So as we know that when Nanda and Yashoda, they had appeared, they had 2 parts, one Devata expansion and the eternal Nanda and Yashoda. So Devatas were Drona and Dhara. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that Krishna, he sent these Devata portions to eternal Vaikuntha, Goloka basically, because they were now perfected their lives. They went to the spiritual world, they went to Goloka. So Krishna, in one plenary portion, along with all the Brajvasis, he went to the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. In other plenary portion, he stayed in Vrindavan, and with all the eternal residents, the pure devotees who had appeared from Goloka, they were there. They are still there performing their pastimes in Aprakat Leela. Krishna never went back. He is always there performing all the pastimes. That's why it is said that Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gacchati. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. He doesn't take even one step out of Vrindavan. So one expansion went back to the spiritual world with all the Devata residents, Devata portions, because they were now pure devotees. They went to the spiritual world, just like Lord Ram. When he departed, he took all the Ayodhyavasis to the eternal Ayodhya. So the 2 portions, one stayed in Vrindavan, other went to the spiritual world, and the third plenary portion returned to Dwarka. So all the Dwarkavasis, they thought, oh, Krishna had gone to spend some time with his relatives and now he is coming back. So that is what their understanding was. Why Shukdev Goswami didn't tell this to Parikshit Maharaj? There is a reason. Shukdev Goswami, Chakravarti Thakur tells that if Shukdev Goswami would have told this story to Parikshit, he would have asked him. Parikshit would have asked, how this is such an unfair arrangement done by Krishna? He took all the Brajvasis to the spiritual world. And why he had to perform such a ghastly pastime of Maushala Leela? Why he performed that pastime to take the Yadus to the spiritual world? So, he was anticipating, Shukdev Goswami was anticipating such question. So therefore, he did not want to, go into all these questions. So he didn't mention that detail. He just hinted. He vaguely hinted to this pastime in the previous verse. In the 15th verse, he told that iti vishesha, iti vivesha. Iti vivesh means, after performing other pastimes, Krishna, he returned to Dwarka. He didn't tell which all pastimes Krishna performed in Mathura. So in Vaishnav Toshini, Sridhar Swami, Sanatana Goswami, he gives a chronology. He tells first there was a pilgrimage to the Kurukshetra during solar eclipse, and then the Rajasuya assembly happened. Rajasuya Yajna happened. So all the Brajvasis, they came to Kurukshetra, and then after that they met Krishna, and then Krishna came for Rajasuya sacrifice, and then after this the gambling match happened, and then Draupadi was insulted, and then this killing of Shalva and Dantavakra, and then Krishna visits to Vrindavan, and then Krishna, he took all the residents of Vrindavan back to the spiritual world. So that is the chronology. So after this, Shukdev Goswami tells another story. Balramji, he had heard that Kurus, all the Kauravas and the Pandavas, they are planning to fight. And because Balramji, he was affectionate to Yudhishthir also and Duryodhana also. So therefore he didn't want to be a part of this war. He wanted to avoid this awkward situation. So on the pretext of doing a pilgrimage, he took permission and he departed. Shukdev Goswami tells, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that after killing of Dantavakra, Krishna, he gave up all the weapons. He didn't take up weapons after that. But Balramji, he had to do two more things. He had to deliver Romaharshan Suta and one demon Balavala. Although he had also given up weapons, but still he had to kill them. So that is what going to happen now. So Balramji, he took permission of the Yadavas and the Kauravas, and he departed for a pilgrimage. After taking bath at Prabhas Kshetra, he went with a company of Brahmanas to a Saraswati river. And then it is described where all Balramji went. He went to Bindu Sarovar, then Tritakupa, Sudarshana, Vishala, Brahmatirtha, Chakratirtha, and then he actually went to all the places around Yamuna and Ganga river. After taking darshan of all these places, he came to Naimisharanya. In the Naimisharanya, all the sages, they had gathered to perform a great sacrifice. And when these sages, they saw the Supreme Lord Balram has come, they all got up, greeted him very nicely, welcomed him, gave a nice seat of honor, and they were speaking in such a loving way. As all these things are going on, Balramji, he noticed Roma Harshan Suta. He was the speaker, because all the sages, they had appointed Roma Harshan Suta as a speaker to hear from him the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So here Balramji noticed that, this Roma Harshan, he is a disciple of Vyasdev, but still he is not getting him. He is still sitting. He becomes very, very angry. So first of all, Roma Harshan didn't get up. Secondly, he didn't offer respects. Third, he remained seated. And fourth, he was a Suta. He was not a Brahmana by birth. He was a Suta. But still, he didn't get it. Hare Krishna. So Balramji, when he saw that Romharshan Sutta is not getting up from his seat, although he was from a Sutta background, he was not a Brahmana by birth, and all the Supreme Lord Balram himself had come, but still he didn't get up. So Balramji became very, very angry because he was sitting above all the learned Brahmanas. So Balramji said, because this fool is born of improper marriage, and he is still has the arrogance to sit above all the Brahmanas and above me, he deserves to die. So the sages, when they heard this, they may tell you, perhaps, oh my lord, please don't be angry, perhaps he is doing it because of his ignorance. Balramji says, no, he is not ignorant. He knows everything. Risher Bhagavato Bhutva Shishyo Aditya Bahunicha Setihas Puranani Dharma Shastrani Sarvashah Adantasya Vinitasya Vitha Panditamaninaha Nagunaya Bhavanti Sma Natasyeva Jitatmanaha. Oh, he is not an ignorant person. He is Risher Bhagavato Bhutva Shishya. He is a direct disciple of Vyasdev, very learned in the scriptures. Itihas Puranani Dharma Shastrani. He is learned in all the Purana, Itihasas and Dharma Shastra. He knows everything. But Adantasya Avinitasya, he is not controlled in his senses. And he is not humble. Adantasya Avinitasya Vritha Panditamanina. And he is thinking himself to be a great scholar. Nagunaya Bhavanti Sma. Therefore, all this study which he has done, this has not produced any good quality in him. Natasyeva jitatmana. He is just behaving like an actor dressed on a stage. This is a very, very important verse. When we are getting learned in so many scriptures, when we start developing knowledge of all the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all the philosophy we start knowing, we should become humble. Vidya Vinayena Shobhate. Humility is the foundation of our consciousness, of our Krishna consciousness. All the study of the scriptures, if that is not making us humble, it is just a waste of time and energy. In the modern world, the studying of all the modern knowledge makes one proud. But the imbibing, if somebody imbibes the spiritual knowledge, it should make him humble. Because one realizes that I have no capacity to learn this on my own. Everything is given by the Supreme Lord. It is coming from Parampara. It is given by the Guru and Sadhu, and all the scriptures which are given by Krishna himself. So Krishna is not pleased by our achievements, by our show of scholarship. Krishna is pleased by our consciousness. What is the consciousness in which we are reading all these scriptures? The famous story comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in South India Yatra. He met a Brahmana, was an illiterate Brahmana, and he was reading Bhagavad Gita, and because he was illiterate, he was not able to read it properly. Ashtadashadhyay pade anand aveshe, ashuddha pade na lok kare upahase. Every day he would read all the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, but ashuddha pade na lok. But he was not reading it properly. Kare upahase. Keha hase keha ninde taha nahi mane. Avishta hoya Gita pade anandita mane. Somebody would laugh, somebody would make fun of him. He would not care for anybody. Avishta hoya Gita pade. With full absorption, he would read Bhagavad Gita every day. Anandita mane. And he was happy. He was not thinking, oh, this person is making fun of me. No. And then as he would read Bhagavad Gita, he would be so absorbed, he would experience all the symptoms of ecstasy. Pulak ashru kampasvede yavat pathan dekhiya nandita hoila maha prabhurman. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw that this Brahmana, he is having all the symptoms of ecstasy, Pulak ashru, hair rising on end, tears falling from his eyes, trembling, sweating, Mahaprabhu became very happy. So Mahaprabhu asked him, महाप्रभु पूछिला तारे सुन महाशय कौन अर्थ जानी तुम्हार एता सुख होय. So Mahaprabhu asked him, "O Brahmana, please tell me what meaning you are deriving from the study of scriptures, that you are crying. Eta sukh, how come you are experiencing such happiness?" विप्र कहे मूर्ख आमी शब्दार्थ न जानी शुद्ध अशुद्ध गीता पढ़ी गुरु आज्ञा मानी. So Brahmana says, "Oh my Lord, I am a fool. I don't know any Sanskrit grammar, but because my teacher, my guru has given instruction, that's why I am reading." "Then why are you crying?" अर्जुनेर रथे कृष्ण होए रज्जुधर बशिया छे हाथे तोत्र श्यामल सुंदर. When I see the cover page of Bhagavad Gita, when I see this painting of Krishna driving the chariot of Arjuna with the reins of his chariot in his hands, that makes me so very happy. Arjunere kohite chena hitopadesh eide ki hoye moro anand avesh. And when I see Krishna imparting so many wonderful instructions, I become so very happy. यावत पढ़ो तावत पाइया तार दर्शन ए लागी गीता पाठ ना छाड़े मोर मन. So he's telling, whenever I read Bhagavad Gita, I see this picture, and therefore I cannot give up reading. That is the mood of reading scriptures. We should not just be the academic scholars of Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavatam, because there are so many academic scholars of Chaitanya Charitamrita who are drinking, smoking. They know all the verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the verses of Bhagavad Gita. We may not be knowing, too many. Some of the scholars, they know all the verses, but still they are not devotees. So Krishna is not pleased with our expertise, he is pleased with our sentiments, our devotion, our consciousness. That is what attracts Krishna. प्रभु कहे गीता पाठे तुम्हारा ही अधिकार तुम तो जानी है गीतार अर्थ सार. So Mahaprabhu tells, Gita पाठे तुम्हारा ही अधिकार. You are only qualified to read Bhagavad Gita. तुम्ही से जानी है से गीतार अर्थ सार. You know the actual meaning of Gita. You know the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So humility is the crux. At present circumstance, humility may be far off, but at least we can be honest. We can be honest that we are not humble, and we can be respectful. So humility is the important quality, but because at present we may not be genuinely humble, we can be honest and respectful. If somebody is arrogant, one becomes vulnerable to sense gratification. Humility makes one immune to sense gratification. So therefore, in this pastime, Balramji is showing the importance of being humble. When somebody is humble, then he is dependent on other Vaishnavas. And then he can be grateful for whatever he receives from the senior devotees. So from humility, dependence is born. Born of dependence is appreciation of the other devotees, and from that one can become grateful. So therefore, humility is very, very important. So the sages, when they hear this, they say, "Oh, he may offend the Brahmanas, but how can you, O Supreme Lord, you are supposed to be without anger. How can you kill him?" Lord tells, the purpose of my coming in this world is to kill the hypocrites like this person who are pretending to be religious. So Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he is Patita Pavan, not Kapata Pavan. We have to be very honest. Krishna does not like people who are pretenders. Mithyachar, Bhagavad Gita also says, it is better to be a sincere sweeper in the street than charlatan meditator. Krishna does not like anybody who is pretending to be a great devotee. Rather than that, try to be whatever you are and try to go advance in a simple, humble way. So Shukdev Goswami, he said that although Supreme Lord Balramji had stopped killing, but Romharshan's death was inevitable. So Balramji, as he was on a yatra, pilgrimage, and he was behaving as a brahmachari, and he had a kusha grass. So with the tip of kusha grass, it touched the neck of Romharshan, and just by the touch of the tip, Romharshan died. How can this happen? Oh, he is Prabhu. He has unlimited powers. So when Romharshan Sutta, he died, all the sages, they cried out, alas, alas, oh my lord, how come you have committed such a irreligious activity? We had just given him so many benedictions and blessings. We had put him on the seat of spiritual master. We had blessed him with long life and good sensory power. And you had killed him. And you have killed him now. You have unknowingly killed a Brahmana. So therefore, please, although you are the Supreme Lord, no scriptures cannot dictate you. You can, whatever you do is sanctioned by the scriptures, but still to set an example for people in general, please do some atonement. Because whatever great people do, common people will follow. Yadi yada charati sreshta tatta deve tarojana sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. So therefore, please do some atonement. So when Balramji heard this, says, okay, I'll perform atonement for this killing. I will, because I need to show compassion for everyone, I will definitely do the atonement. Just you say one word and I'll revive this person. I will revive this person with all the blessings, with sensory power, with long life. I will revive him right now. The sage said, no, my lord, please just see to it that your killing of this Romharshan Sutta, your power, your Kusha weapon, and our promise, and this death of Romharshan Sutta, everything should remain intact. You do something. So now Supreme Lord, he had to use his intelligence, who has unlimited intelligence. He says, okay, no problem. Son inherits the property of his father. You all had given the benedictions to Romharshan Sutta. I'll transfer all that to his son, Sutta Goswami, Ugra Shrava Sutta. And Balramji said, so, and this person in future, he'll recite the Puranas. And that same Ugra Shrava Sutta, he now was telling this entire Srimad Bhagavatam to the sages of Naimisharanya. And then he tells to the Brahmanas, please tell me, I'll do proper atonement. What do you want? So the sages, they tell, oh my lord, there is a demon, very fierce demon, very powerful demon named Balavala. He comes here every new moon day and he contaminates our sacrificial arena. Whenever he comes, he, contaminates this arena with all the obnoxious substances. My lord, please kill this demon. And then as an atonement, of killing Romharshan Sutta, you please go on a pilgrimage for 12 months. And there in that pilgrimage, you perform meditation and sacrifice, take bath in all the rivers. So that is the atonement which Brahmanas suggested to Balramji. That is the end of the chapter. In the 79th chapter, which is entitled, Lord Balram goes on pilgrimage. So as the sages, they had told, on new moon day, a very, very fierce, frightful demon appeared. And before that, wind started blowing, very frightening wind. Dust started raising everywhere. Smell of the pus was spreading throughout that sacrificial arena. And all the abominable substances started falling from the sky. Urine, pus, stool, mucus, meat. This demon appeared with a trident in his hand. He was black. He was like a black mass of carbon, completely black. And his top knot and beard, it was molten copper. He was carrying a very, very powerful looking trident. He had fangs, he had furrowed eyebrows, and with that, he came to attack. So when Lord Balram, he saw this demon has come, he thought of his club and his plow, the powerful weapons of the Supreme Lord, and they appeared immediately. With his plow, he caught this demon as he was flying in the air, and he struck that demon with this club on his head. And just with one strike of this club, this Balavala, he cried out, fell to the ground, unconscious, and he died. All the sages, they exclaimed, wonderful, honored Lord Ram with wonderful prayers. He gave ceremonial bath. Just like Indra, he was given bath by all the devatas when he killed Vritrasur. Similarly, all the sages, they performed a bathing ceremony of Lord Balram, and they gave him Vaijayanti Mala of unfading lotuses. They offered beautiful blessings. And in this way, after this, Balramji, he departed for a pilgrimage. So where all he went to pilgrimage, Shukadeva Goswami describes in great detail. From Sarayu river, he, along with some of the Brahmanas, he was traveling, but not alone, he was traveling with the Brahmanas. So he went to Sarayu river. From there, he went to Prayag, and there he took bath. And there he went to the ashram Pulaharishi. He offered obeisances and respects to Pulaharishi, and then he went to Gomati, Gandaki, and he went to Gaya there. After at Gaya, he offered Shraddha for his departed ancestors. So this is how Supreme Lord, although what is the need for him to perform all this? But just to set the example for people in general, he is doing all these pastimes. And after performing Shraddha, he went to Mahendra, Mount Mahendra. There he saw Parshuramji sitting. He offered his obeisances and offered so many prayers. Then he went to the Godavari river, then Vena, Pampa. And then after that, now he was traveling down. He met at Sri Shaila. So he met Kartikeya, Skanda. And he saw, he went to Dravida Desha, and he went to Venkata Hill, where the Tirupati is there. Where the Supreme Lord is there as Balaji. He took darshan of Supreme Lord Balaji, and then he went to Kanchipuram also. There also he took darshan, and he went to he took bath in the Kaveri river there, and then he went to Srirangam. There again he took bath. He took darshan of Supreme Lord Ranganath, and he went to Rishabha mountain and Malaya hills, and then there he met Vasishtha, Agastya. So Agastya Rishi was doing meditation at Malaya hills, so he offered his respects and prayers. After taking leave from Agastya, he went to Kanyakumari, Rameshwaram. He took darshan of Kanyakumari. Then after that he returned. He was coming up. He went, Kanyakumari is the southernmost. Then he went to Falgun Tirth, Pancha Apsara Lake. There he donated thousands of cows. Then he went to Kerala, Trigartha. There he saw the beautiful temple of Lord Shiva was there. Then after that he came to a very interesting place, Shuruparak. Shuruparak is our Nala Sopara. So he went to a Shuruparak. There he took bath in Tapi river, Payosani, and Nirvindya rivers. So Shuruparak is a very, very holy place. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also took bath there. He also had come. So then after he went to Dandakaranya forest, and then ultimately he returned to Prabhas. So when he reached Prabhas, he came to know that the entire battle of Kurukshetra was over now. Last day of the battle was going on. All the Kauravas and Pandavas had killed each other. Now the fight was going on between Bhima and Duryodhana. So Bhima, Balramji, he wanted to stop this fight. So the fight had already been started. They were fighting with their clubs, and it was very, very fierce battle going on. Balramji came. He wanted to stop this fight. All the Pandavas, Yudhishthir, Arjun, Nakula, Sahdev, when they saw Balramji had come, they all stood up, offered their respects, but they didn't speak anything. They were thinking, what has he come here to tell us? Because they knew that Balramji, he has some affection for Duryodhan, and he might tell something in favor of Duryodhan. So they were silent. So Balramji, when he saw, Duryodhan and Bhima, they are fighting so fiercely, he said, "Oh Bhima, oh Duryodhan, please listen, that you two warriors, you are equal in fighting. One of you is more skilled, other is having more physical power." So Bhima, he had more physical power, and Duryodhan was more skilled in club fighting. So he said, you will not be able to win over each other. So please stop. You will not be able to win. Nobody will be able to win or lose. But Bhima and Duryodhan, they didn't accept this suggestion, because they were remembering what insults, each of them, they were remembering the insults and the abuses and the injuries they had incurred in the past. So when Balramji saw, it seems that now this battle is arranged by the supreme will of the Lord. So accepting the will of the Lord, he quietly departed from that place, and they continued to fight. And therefore Balramji, he returned back to Dwarka, and there all the Dwarkavasis very beautifully welcomed Balramji. So again, after getting reception from Dwarkavasis, he again left to Naimisharanya, again went to Naimisharanya, and he saw all the sages, they were doing all the Vedic sacrifices. So Balramji, now he had retired from all the Kshatriya duty. He also engaged in all the Vedic sacrifices. Although he was Supreme Lord, but just to teach people, he started doing all the performances of sacrifices. He blessed all the sages with spiritual knowledge, and he went along with his wife Revati. After doing all the sacrifices, he took his ceremonial bath, and all the pastimes which Supreme Lord has performed, they are unlimited. So Shukdev Goswami, he ends this chapter by telling the Falastuti. Says, all the activities of Supreme Lord Balram, they are amazing. Anybody who hears these pastimes of Lord during the morning and the evening time, he'll get unalloyed devotion, and he'll become very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are the various pastimes of Supreme Lord Balramji. And in this way, this chapter ends. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So yeah, these places are in India. Yes. Not in the Bharatvarsha. Some of them were in the Bharatvarsha, but most of them were in India also. There are many places in India which are the replica of those places which are in the greater Himalayas. So in those times, all these residents, they had the power to access those places also. In today's age, there is nobody who has the power to go to these places. Okay, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.